Hey, YouTube, it's Officer Nene. It's time to do a video breakdown. I saw a video recently from a dash camera where a Vermont State Trooper pulled over a man for flipping him the bird and proceeded to arrest him later on. Let's break that video down and talk about it from a police officer's perspective. Watch me whip. Okay, here we are. Let's get right into it. As you can see in this video, this Vermont State Trooper pulls over a man who he believes has flipped him the bird while driving by on another traffic stop. So he pulls him over and it proceeds into way more. Let's watch it.
You need something?
Oh, you see the trooper hat.
You need something? Yeah. No, it looked like you put me out when you were going by there.
Okay, first off, from a police officer's perspective, to say you need something, he should probably tell him right away, like he should introduce himself and identify himself. Hey, I'm Officer Nene with so-and-so police department, and the reason why I'm stopping you is for blank. To just walk up and say you need something, I would probably choose something better than that, right? Let people know why you've stopped them. Continuing on.
So you went like this to me as I was driving by. Were you looking? Did you not do that?
No, you might have thought it might be stretching. I'm doing this.
Okay, so you didn't.
Okay, now it's becoming like just kind of confrontational. Did you do that?
Yeah, it looked like you looked right at me and looked like you stuck your middle finger.
Stuck your middle finger in my face.
No, I was doing this. Yeah. You must be really sensitive if the trooper is possible flipping you off.
Well, I don't need to make it personal, you know. I mean.
Okay, he says he doesn't want to make it personal, but kind of seems that way already, right? Like it already does seem personal. You've stopped him because he flipped you off. What's the reasoning here? Let's see.
You know, I mean, you looked right at me, and I don't know if you were like a cigarette or you had
Well,
one.
I was doing this.
First of all, I'm not an overly sensitive person, and it's the first time in 12 years I've ever stopped someone who I thought was.
First time in over 12 years that he's ever stopped somebody for flipping him off. Okay. Then why now? Why is today different? Let's see.
You may not have been doing that, but I think you can agree that if someone was looking for the attention of a trooper, they're probably going to find it by giving them.
Depends on where you're at. I think other agencies might say that that's usual behavior all day long, right?
That type of negative signal. Do you agree with that?
No, I don't know because I don't understand that.
If somebody were to do that, can we? That may not have been you. But can we agree? If somebody did that for a trooper, they're obviously looking for their attention.
No, I wasn't looking for your attention.
I know. I'm saying.
Yeah, I think they are obviously looking for attention. They're trying to show their expression of how they feel about cops. Guess what? It happens. People don't always like us, and that's fine.
Question: if someone flips you off,
Yep.
what is the citation? What's the crime?
So if somebody flicks me off,
Yeah.
I don't know if they're signaling to try to get my attention because they need any assistance or they need to have a conversation.
Okay, there is a question there. What's the crime? I can tell you here in Utah, I don't know what crime would be committed because that kind of falls under somebody's protected speech. They can drive by. I've had people drive by and yell "F you," you know, they call, you know, all that stuff. So that's not something that I understand. In order to pull somebody over, you have to be able to have reasonable suspicion that a crime has occurred, like a brake light out, tail light out, any of those things, right? Because those are all laws. Your vehicle has to be operational. You can't be breaking the speed limit, you know, those kind of things. So I think a lot of this probably could be avoided right here if the trooper had found a reason to pull him over, whether that be that, hey, he wants to pull him over because he flipped him off, but he had something else along that, brake light, tail light, signal light, speeding, anything, right? Find a legitimate reason to pull him over and then have that conversation.
A conversation? Because obviously it's not normal behavior, so I'm going to have that conversation. Right? 'Cause it's not normal. I'm telling you, out of thousands of public interactions, I've never seen that. At least it didn't catch my attention, but it was so obvious what you did.
Wait, what?
Take a left here, take your first left.
Okay, hold up. Pause. Stop the video right now. Stop. Okay, hold on. If an officer's on a traffic stop, do not bother them.
Do not
ever bother them on a traffic stop for something that is less than emergency, like, hey officer, your car's on fire. Yeah, maybe have that conversation. Hey officer, like, I'm bleeding out. Yeah, maybe have that conversation. But don't stop an officer for directions. Don't stop them in their traffic stop, because the officer is already paying attention to the person in the vehicle or the people in the vehicle. Those are the people that we're worried about. And to have somebody, some Joe Blow Smo on the side, be like, hey, do you know the directions to McDonald's? I'm hungry. I don't need to be worrying about that. Now my attention is diverted from these people to this person, and who knows what these people are going to do, right? Just realize that's a bad idea.
Take a left and you're fresh left.
Well, nice of him to at least answer.
Well, I won't take up any more
Good
of
on
your
him.
time.
I mean,
Well, I'm going to file a complaint with you.
You're more than welcome to. It's Trooper Reagan out of the Salvas Barracks.
But I don't understand why, like...
okay, he says he's going to file a complaint against him. That's fine.
I was going by.
If you ever feel like you have been wronged by a police officer, file a complaint. They'll look into it. We have internal investigations that investigate us. And I mean, that is your right. That's fine. And if we're doing everything on the up and up, go ahead, file a complaint. Like that's okay. We should be vindicated in that investigation that we didn't do anything wrong, right? That's a big thing about body cameras. For the longest time, people thought body cameras were going to catch officers doing all these negative, illegal things. And they've actually ended up being more helpful for us to show that, look, this never happened. I never did this. So that's good that he tells him he's going to file a complaint. And the officer, the trooper, good for him. He says, fine. And he gives his information. I appreciate that.
There, and your middle finger was extended while you were looking
maybe
at
I
me.
was doing this. I was doing this.
Well, I also see that you had a cigarette in your hand.
Yeah.
And so it's possible that you had one hand up while you're singing right
That
there.
would be considered freedom of expression.
So
I'm going to file a complaint against you.
So actually, you're more than welcome to. So here's the issue.
Yeah.
Is that although it may be freedom of expression, it is so unusual that it requires intervention to make sure that you don't need help at the time. Are you trying to signal my intention or something? Okay, so it may be freedom of expression, but it crosses the line, whereas...
I don't know. I'm having a hard time with this. It's so unusual. It's freedom of expression. It is freedom of expression. But being flipped off isn't unusual. I know a lot of cops that have been flipped off like that. I don't consider that so unusual. And again, we don't see what happened before this went down. So I don't know if this is actually super unusual. Like, did he get out of the car and flip him off in the middle of the street? Then that's a different thing. So he ends the stop, leaving.
Over the fact as he pulled away, he called me and said with the bird. I'm going to arrest him for the conduct. There are multiple people around there.
Who's he talking to?
Send me another unit to Brainerd Street in the city.
He's got to have somebody else. Either he's narrating it for his dash cam, or he's got somebody in the car, because he doesn't. You can tell that he picks up his mic and says where he's going to be stopping and asking for another unit.
Off on North Main Street, another unit, please.
But hold on. So he says he's going to charge this guy or arrest him for disorderly conduct. Now, I've done a little bit of research into Vermont's laws. And Vermont's laws do technically, like, let me pull up my iPad here. We'll just talk about it. So, it says right here, Title 13, Chapter 19, Subsection 4, 1026, disorderly conduct. A person is guilty of disorderly conduct if he or she, with intent to cause public inconvenience or annoyance, or recklessly creates a risk thereof, so a risk of inconvenience or annoyance, engages in fighting or in violent, tumultuous, or threatening behavior. That doesn't fall under that. Makes unreasonable noise. No, it doesn't fall under that. In a public place, uses abusive or obscene language. Yes, it would be that, because I think you could say the F word is obscene. Without lawful authority, disturbs any lawful assembly. That doesn't meet that. Obstructs vehicular or pedestrian traffic. Doesn't meet that. So he's going to arrest him for disorderly conduct because of in a public place uses abusive or obscene language. Okay, the state statute of Vermont allows that. So whether that should be allowed or not is a different discussion. But okay, he's going to arrest him for disorderly conduct because he has a statute that falls under that. So on face value, sounds like the trooper has a leg to stand on. However, when you go to Supreme Court cases, the Supreme Court has upheld over multiple cases that simply flipping off a police officer, calling them a name, any of these things, those are freedom of expression, protected speech by the Constitution that does not allow an officer to arrest somebody based off of that. In order for it to be not protected, it has to be more threatening. You have to threaten to harm them. You have to have some kind of like assaultive language in it as well. You can't, just by the mere face of saying the F word, that doesn't constitute a crime based off of case law. And that's where police officers, we have to be well versed in the law of our area, but also in case law, because case law sets precedents of what is allowed and what's not. So we know that he has a leg to stand on as far as arresting him. It's not necessarily an illegal arrest. I don't agree with it, right? I think you need to just let it go, let people be upset, don't arrest. But technically there's a Vermont state statute. And I don't know if Vermont's statute has been challenged yet in Supreme Court for applicability to the Constitution, and whether that's a violation of our free speech. But technically he has a leg to stand on that way. So it's not necessarily unlawful. I just don't know if it's appropriate.
Okay, so now you're under arrest for disorderly conduct. Get out of the car.
I'm under arrest for disorderly conduct. What
Yeah,
did I do?
All the people there saying and calling me an asshole, all the people there in the public, that's a crime, sir. So get out of the car, you're under arrest.
That's how it should have started at the beginning, right? He should have walked up and told him why he was stopping him. But now we're in a confrontational. Now you're under arrest for disorderly conduct. Get out of the car.
Am I under arrest for disorderly conduct?
I'm not going to debate this with you. Please step out of the car. You are under arrest. Step out of the car.
How is that disorderly conduct, sir? How is that disorderly conduct?
And it technically is a crime by Vermont statute.
Listen to me. Ask me a question.
But again, just because it's a crime doesn't mean it's going to have a leg to stand on. I bet there's going to be some constitutional challenges to this.
You said, asshole, yelled it, and then said as you drove away. And all that public there heard it and saw it. So that is disorderly conduct 101. Step out of the car. Step out of the car.
I'm having problems. I have a lot of...
Step out of the car. Step out of the car, you're going to be ejected from the car.
How am I going to
Step out of the car.
Can I meet you at the barracks?
No, you cannot. Step out of the car, you're under arrest.
Can I call your supervisor?
Do not.
Okay.
We'll be at the barracks when we get there. Step out of the car, you're under arrest.
All right, here again, I'm going to beg with you guys. Please do not argue on the side of the road. That's where police officers and people get hurt. There are ramifications for illegal actions against officers. You can file complaints. You can sue them civilly, whatever. And then you can charge them criminally if they violated law. But in the moment is not the time to be having these arguments. If he tells you to get out of the car, you can try to have this argument of like, I'm sorry, I didn't know what, just comply. I know that's so hard, but just comply. Comply, get out of the car, let him arrest you, whatever. Find a good attorney and own that city, right? Have the state of Vermont renamed after you because you were wrongfully arrested and you win a bunch of money or whatever. But on the side of the road is not the place to do this.
How am I under arrest?
Step out of the car, I'm going to make you.
But, sir, can you explain to me how that is...
Maybe de-escalate it a little bit.
All the motor vehicle traffic there?
I mean,
You cannot do that.
he doesn't need to step back. He doesn't need to like give up his position and be like, okay, actually, I'm not going to arrest you. But maybe try to work with him, talk him. Now he's going to force him out. Okay. Ask, tell, make. We know about that.
It wasn't a problem until it became a problem. You understand that? What's the hood of my... Hands on the hood.
Oh, my God.
Hands on the hood.
Come on.
And put your hand behind your back.
Oh, my God, sir. You're kidding.
That's best.
My car is
Other
running,
hand. Other
sir.
hand. I'll take care of it. Okay.
I cannot believe this, sir. I cannot believe this.
The first one may have been there, and the second one certainly was
How
not.
is that disorderly conduct? I'm not being disorderly. How is it causing disorderly?
Now,
Do you think sometimes troopers, by the way, just side note, do you think sometimes troopers, like, the tightness of their hats, their smoky hats, like, get to them?
In very busy Main Street traffic. Now, that's disorderly conduct 101.
Like, the lack of oxygen getting in their brain sometimes makes them just, I don't know, I mean, but I don't know, they're not that smart. They chose to become a trooper instead of a police officer, you know, like a city cop. Come on, that's where the fun is. Just kidding. I love troopers.
You may let me speak now.
Just kidding.
Someone has the audacity to do that. Someone has the audacity. I told you, I've made thousands and thousands of fire stops, and I don't remember any time I've ever seen someone consciously flicking the bird. So now I'm convinced that you did. Especially that behavior to actually get the end of the stop. Okay, so you are under arrest, and that's the end of the story.
Okay, so
I don't know what to do here.
this seems like contempt of cop, right? Basically, this cop is so mad, this trooper is so mad, that he's now gotten to the point where he's finding the reason to stop him. He's using a legal reason, disorderly conduct, but really, the disorderly is not the real concern here. It was just kind of the loophole to be able to arrest this dude because he needs to now show him, hey, I'm powerful.
No.
I also don't like that. I also don't like that he's doing this alone. I probably would have waited till. Oh, there we go. Got this guy pulling up.
I'm all set now.
So what happens to my car?
Well,
The reason why I don't like this is because there's a lot of officers that will pull people out and they'll get harmed or killed because they're by themselves. If he finds a weapon on him or something, that could come out on him. Oh, that trooper doesn't have his hat. Where's that trooper's hat? Oh, when he gets to the barracks, woo! Heads are gonna fly. That trooper did not have a hat.
Oh my lord.
I think they're both in the wrong here. Like, honestly, I think they're both in the wrong.
99 out of 100 people who I thought that did that in the original stop, if it was an honest mistake, they'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about, I apologize for any error, and they would drive on.
And why are we arguing this, right? Like,
I'm not going to answer any more questions, sir. Can you please which one?
again, I tell you, don't argue with the police officer on the side of the road. As the police officer, it's not always the best time to argue with somebody right there on the side of the road either. Like, take them back to the jail, take them to the barracks, whatever, wherever they go, take them back and like, let's just be done with it, right? Just move on. Don't argue it right there.
This is ridiculous.
Again, trooper no hat. Oh, no hat. You are going to be fired, bro. No hat.
Okay. Is that a little better?
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
Okay, so he's checking the cuffs because we got to make sure that we don't cut off circulation and stuff.
Do you need anything out of the car? I'm still full.
Can I get my...
Excuse me, I'm just trying to get out of my driveway. All this police activity. I'm surprised she didn't ask, like, is everything safe? I'm in the church here. Is there anything I can do to help? We always get that. People will always interrupt and be like, is everything okay? If it weren't okay, we would let you know.
I drove by him, and I saw his middle finger extended at me.
Really?
So I just wanted to have a conversation with him. It's like, what's going on? You need help? Right? I mean, totally unusual behavior. What's going on? He denied doing it, so I said, okay, maybe he didn't do it. And then...
Yeah, absolutely did it, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely did. So then we got to the car before he left. He, out the window, yelled, asshole, you, and put me off in front of 100 people.
Great. I will meet you at the barracks.
Okay. All right. So I've analyzed it as we went through it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. But my final thoughts are, did he have reason to stop him the second time? Yes, because Vermont state law said that was against the law, because it says that you can't use obscene language in public place. So we have that. I mean, you have public, there's, as the trooper said, hundreds of people. I think that's an exaggeration, but still you got hundreds of people in a public place, and he used the F word, obscene. That's probably the most obscene swear word you can come up with. Now, was the initial stop valid? I'm not so sure about that. I'm not a lawyer. I'm a police officer. But we have to have reasonable suspicion that there is a crime afoot in order to stop somebody and seize them. Because when you stop somebody, when you pull them over, that's a seizure per the Fourth Amendment. So we have to have reasonable suspicion or probable cause that a crime has been committed. And that's, while we investigate it, that would be the traffic stop. flipping somebody off isn't necessarily a crime. I personally think that the trooper was upset that he got flipped off. Maybe it was a bad day, I don't know, and he decided to stretch it. Then after that, he has this confrontation with him. The guy leaves actually saying it. That's where the second stop is valid, and you got to break those up. But even then, even at face value being valid, I don't know if this is going to stick. I really don't, because how do you say that somebody's freedom of expression and somebody's constitutional right to freedom of speech, which the Supreme Courts have upheld over and over, that simply getting upset with a government official and calling them a name or flipping them off is not a violation of law, and it is protected speech under the First Amendment. I don't know if this is going to stand. It sounds like it's going to court. This happened in 2018. The body camera or the dash cam just got released this week. And so we'll see how it goes. We'll keep it updated. But anyway, if you guys like this breakdown, if you like what I'm saying, if you like or enjoy this content, please like, subscribe, comment, turn on the bell notification, because we're going to keep doing these. I love doing these video breakdowns. So I think this is the new step for this channel. So please join me as we do this, and I'll see you guys on the flip side.